Jason Branch is today celebrating the completion, thank you for that, of his studies in our MFA Interaction Design program, and he represents this year's 357 master's degree candidates. Born and raised in the New York City borough of Brooklyn, Jason is an avid traveler to places far and near, and he apparently makes more Seinfeld references than, well, you know, yada, yada, yada. Okay, somebody watches Seinfeld, good. Jason received his undergraduate degree in economics from Rutgers University. Business and economics were to be his destiny. That is, until he realized pixels were a lot more fun than numbers. But pixels and numbers aren't mutually exclusive, and Jason has set out to effect the marriage of design and economics. That brought Jason to SVA. His interest crystallized during the two recent internships, one at emerging fintech and the other at startup Edquity. In less than 1 month, Jason will head for San Francisco, California, everyone's going to California it seems, to begin a job as senior product designer at RaiseMe, a startup that's redefining financial aid for high school students, a cause for which Jason has been advocating during his tenure at SVA, while also working as a freelance product designer. Celebrating with Jason today are his mother and father, Sheldine and Patrick. I'm happy to present the 2019 graduate speaker, Jason Branch.
Thank you, Dr. Cyphers, for your introduction. Greetings to all here today. President David Rhodes, Executive Vice President Anthony Rhodes, members of the board, department chairs, distinguished guests, Patty Smith, faculty and staff of SVA, parents, spouses, family, friends, guests, and those watching online, and most importantly, fellow graduates. Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be representing the class of 2019. Class of 2019. If there's any time to feel like you did it, it's today. You did it. You're here. I know most days it might not feel that way. I often have a conversation with my classmates about imposter syndrome. The idea that you're not a practitioner, you're not a designer, you're not a craftsman, you're not an artist, you're not an illustrator. You just pretend to be those people, going through the motions, but undeserving of the title. You may not feel it every day. Some days, you may in fact feel that you are an artist, a craftsman, a designer, or an animator. Other days, a shell of what you want to be, less than in comparison to someone else's skill. Imposter syndrome is not just the idea that someone is better, but that we're doing something wrong, somehow inadequate, subpar, or not equal. Or better yet, imperfect. People often romanticize the Wright brothers for their success of flight, but few mention what it cost them. They endured 4 broken ribs, 1 broken leg, and a back injury in their pursuit. Similarly, JFK's famous "We choose to go to the moon" speech happened in 1962. We didn't step foot on the moon until 1969, 7 years later, after many crashes and many mistakes. It takes courage to overcome imposter syndrome, and in both cases, we had the courage to continue. The metaphors of flight are not by accident. It costs something to go somewhere. It's expensive to get from point A to point B, especially without a Metro card. And we didn't get here alone, so let's give a hand to all who helped get us here. Join me in thanking everyone for their support along the way. Upon joining this program, I asked the chair of my department, Liz Danzico, what's the one thing she wants her students to graduate with when they leave this program? I'll never forget the words she uttered, the courage to make the hard decisions. It took me a while, but I've come to understand courage comes with growth, and growth is in the process. To achieve anything great requires the courage you had the day before it started and the enthusiasm you feel at its finish. This takes practice. Some of us graduates have been practicing for 2 years, some 4, some far longer. Booker T. Washington once said, "Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles one has overcome while trying to succeed." For us, these obstacles might be self-doubt, imperfection, and distractions. Whether you're a freshman congresswoman, an immigrant seeking a better life, or a student from an underrepresented background, you have something to contribute. Class of 2019, you have something to contribute. Keep striving, keep going, keep practicing, and hopefully in 2 years or 20 years from now, whenever you look back on your life or your work, you'll realize you've been the person you've always wanted to be. The imposter was just an illusion. Much success to us all. Thank you.